lady, Adunni Ade. Our guest today is a trained accountant from the University of Kentucky. She's a mother of two adorable sons, and she has done over 250 movies, English and Yoruba. We have a lot.
Even more.
We have a lot to talk to about. Rotimi, will you take the first question?
First question, okay. So you're welcome to the station, ma'am.
Thank you.
Having done over 250, he said 250, but you said
it's
over 250
yes.
movies.
Yeah.
That means you have, acted over generations. Like you've acted for so many years that you have witnessed the rise of Nollywood over the years.
Not accurate.
Okay. Please enlighten me.
With Nollywood, you can film every single day from one set to the other.
Okay.
Depending on how your body can
take
hold this. Yes.
So
and that used to be me.
Okay.
I would work every single day except 3 days. My children's birthday, both of them, and my birthday.
Okay.
Plus any Islamic holiday, I will not work.
Okay.
Call me New Year. If I'm free, I'll work. So I was always on set. In a month, let me say, for instance, with Yoruba, they might need you minimum 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Now imagine you doing that for a whole month. How many films is that?
So how many years would you say you have been in the industry?
Well, I have been back with acting. I moved to Nigeria 2011, December.
Oh, okay.
So since then.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So haven't acted in so many number of movies. What would you say has evolved in the last 10 years? Say a decade.
The equipments we use, acting skills, people are getting more training. Even the crew, those behind the camera, everyone is evolving. Just the way our films are being made, just wanting the best and just putting Nollywood on the map.
Okay, so how have you evolved now, knowing that we know some actors are stereotypes, like we know that you're only made for, you can only be a security guard. We know some people that you would easily point at and say, if you need a security guard, he would do it. If you need a playboy, he would do it. How have you evolved over the years?
So I started off as a skip maker.
Skip maker?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I started back in the States, and that's how I got my first job in Nollywood with Said Balogun. And I flew down to feature in his film UI. Yeah. That was when he released it.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't when he shot it. So I had come, right after I had my second child, I had come to Nigeria to shoot it, because prior to that was when I started the skit. And I came short because it was quite a big project. I believe he went around the world doing this project. He had a lot of Caucasians in the film, but my bit was shot here in Nigeria. So that was the first one that I came down for. And I went back, and I would get calls, and it was more of a fly-in, fly-out type thing. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to keep doing this because it's a new phase. How many people are wanting to take that risk, paying for airline tickets, the whole 9 yards. And I said, you know what, maybe I should just move down. And I had a very deep discussion with Ramsey Noah. I had met him in Maryland at one of my family friends' house. And he said, you know what, okay, let's meet in the mall. So we went down to DC. I met him there. And it was just fascinating to see Africans across the continent. I'm not talking about Nigerians. I'm talking about every part of Africa who was there that day at the mall, coming up to him, taking pictures, him relating with people. It was just a beautiful thing to see that he has gained this fame. He has worked so hard to get to this level. And we had a conversation in the food court. I couldn't eat. He just sat there eating, and I was just sitting there listening. And he said, for you to do this, you have to be in people's faces. So if you know this is what you want to do, because I was acting and also working with the government. And He said you have to be in people's faces. You can't do this flying thing back and forth. You have to be in Nigeria. If you want to give Nollywood a shot, move down here. Give yourself, time yourself, do the best that you can. He said there are two ways to make it. Either you go the fast route or the easy route. He said the fast route, you get to the top real quick, but you're going to fall right back down. Or the route that seems like it's slow, taking years and years to accomplish anything. He said there are going to be days you want to quit. There are going to be days you're going to cry. There are going to be days you just want to give up and say, you know what, I'm done. He said, but just hang in there. He said, from looking at you, you look like that woman who's going to take that quote-unquote hard route. That was what he said to me. And it was almost as if I was just looking for someone to say that to me just to validate my thought process. And I packed everything with my kids and moved to Lagos. Around that period was when I also met you, maybe like a year or so after, Mr. Sheon. And it was hard. It has been hard, as you can imagine. There have been days that I have cried. There have been days that I've wanted to give up. There have been days that I've packed my things up and said, you know what? There's a 9-to-5 job waiting for me in America. Because you have to understand, I am different. I look different. I sound different. And it's not really a disadvantage, but you have to prove yourself to others, to filmmakers, to directors, to say, you know what? This girl is giving it her all. Her color doesn't mean anything. Give her a chance. So from the outside, people look at me as fragile. A jebota. You know, that kind of mentality. But I think I have tried the best that I can to prove to people that I can get down and dirty. I can be that proper Nigerian woman you need me to be. And in my life, in real life, there's no situation you put me that I cannot maneuver in. If you put me with the quote unquote the rough ones on the street, the thugs, we're there. I mingle with them the best. Yes, I relate with them the best. Prim and proper, you can find me there. Whatever situation that I find myself in, it is so easy for me to navigate and just maneuver through.
After that long conversation with
Ramsey
many years back,
yes.
over a decade back,
Yeah.
why did it take you that long to work with him? Because I know
that's not me, and that's not in my hands.
Okay.
I'm not God.
You didn't approach him. I mean, you know he's now a director.
If he was sitting here, he would tell you every single time that I saw him, I would tell him, bro, it's been a year. Bro, it's been 5 years. Bro, it's been 6 years. But you have to understand, not because he was someone, he didn't buy my plane ticket to Nigeria, but he just gave me that pep talk that I felt I needed. And what I believe in is destiny. What is meant to be will be. At the right time, it would happen, right? I would approach him every time I see him. At film festivals, at award shows. Bro, we look alike. You can play my daddy. I can play your daughter. You can play my brother. I can play your sister. But it was never the right time. And he's someone who's not going to cast you because, or her color. No. If you don't fit that role, he would not cast you. That's just who he is.
Okay, so tell me, how did you get this role, this particular Tokumbo role?
So,
your role in Tokumbo, how did you get the role?
My character's name is Iyamulika.
Iyamulika, yeah.
AKA Iyamulix. That's what Chidimokeme calls me. Now, Iyamulika, just like it sounds. Iyamulika sounds like a street woman. That woman in the hood that you can always go to. She's selling wusi, probably beer, shepe, all these things. And she's probably someone you can always go meet and, yeah, I'm looking at you, sorry for me change, can I get 1 or 2? She's that woman. And when you hear of her, there's a look you might imprint in your face of maybe that bleached out, washed out woman, sunburned. And he didn't want just anyone. when you watch it, you would see the physical transformation that was given to me to look like what Iyamulika should look like, based on the character.
One of the things that we try to do with the program is to make young people who are trying to come into Nollywood to learn from their screen idols. So you said that one of the things Ramsey told you was that there were going to be the hard days, there were going to be the days that you will cry. Could you tell us some of your hard days and how you were able to overcome them?
Can I add a B part to it? Now, so you were pressured, right? Just like he asked. Now we know about, especially in the Yoruba scene, right? We have this clique thing where you have to be part of a troupe or part of a particular set of people that you do movies together, right? Were you at any time pressured to be part of any particular sect or clique or troupe or whatever?
I think you're getting it wrong.
Okay.
Let me start with your question.
Okay.
I think you're getting it wrong. Never have I seen any clique or troupe or
Group of people.
that it always has to be them filming together. With me, I work with anyone. If your story is good and you're paying me well, I will film for you. And as long as I'm available for that date, I'll be there. They know that. Now, how other people work, I don't know. But me working with the Yoruba industry, I never saw any troupe. I never saw any group. Or when me come and warning, okay, you're my person. Okay, I might not be able to pay your professional fee. Okay, come look out for me. Maybe that's what you're talking about, and maybe that's what suits some people. But I worked with everyone, even people that I never thought I would come in contact with, and I've always expressed my gratitude to Yoruba filmmakers and directors because they don't stereotype me. They give me that role, the role that you would think, she might not be able to do this. Mr. Latin, at one point in time, he called me for a police officer to play a Nigerian police officer. Any other time, nobody would want to call me for that because they would feel like, oh, she's still light-skinned for that. Her caller would say otherwise. But he didn't think that. I've played so many characters that I would... Even myself, I'm always like, thank God, like I'm getting this, So I'm always very thankful and very appreciative that, that part, I was never limited to roles that was being given to me. I think more so sometimes maybe playing lead or playing a character where it would involve parents might be difficult for a filmmaker or a director to cast. You understand? Maybe who's going to play her mom? Who's going to play her dad? Someone that looks like her. But Yoruba never had that problem. If I needed to play someone's daughter, Madame Shaja was there. Shafi Bello was there. So many people played my mom. And they would just find a story to say about the dad, So yeah, that's it. Now, for your question, Mr. Sheon, there have been days, man. There have been days where I would get a call, read scripts, excited about the character. I'm already in that mode thinking of how am I going to transform into this person and just deliver. And then last minute, we've even negotiated. It's just to hear back out. And then the next thing is, and I'm like, okay, what was really the problem? Now, back then, it would affect me, it would bug me because I'm like, did you not think about this before you reached out to me? Why last minute did you change your mind? Of recent, this happened. But I was just like, okay, cool, no problem. Another day to rest, They had called me for the job and negotiated, and we just wanted to get to the contract, and I called the producer, and I was calling for something else, and then he was like, oh, Adunni, and they wanted some They wanted specific group of Nollywood, the OGs. I said, what do you mean by the OGs? They said, like, the ones that have been in the industry 25 years or more. And I said, like, who? And he mentioned, I was like, oh, okay, I understand. So when he gave me what the producer wanted, I don't fall in that category because they came out before me. So I didn't even see it as an issue. I was just like, okay, cool, yeah. It wasn't meant to be. So with time, with years working in the industry, some things will happen. In the beginning, it will seem like a lot, but now you just let it roll off your shoulder.
Okay. I've seen a couple of your movies,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things I like is the fact that you could play anything easily.
Thank you.
I saw the
Thank you.
YouTube movie that you made with Kunle Afod.
Yeah, Afi.
You understand?
Yeah.
So my question is this: your background, from
Right.
where you come from,
Yeah.
you lived in America for a greater part of your time.
How will I put this? Yes, much older. So I was born there. I was there for a few years, and then I was brought here. So I had my primary and secondary school here.
Oh.
And then I went back. I had even worked more than 10 years. I had more than 10, 15 years of work experience in the field over there. Had my kids before even coming back here.
Okay, that's where I'm going.
Right.
What I'm asking is, how were you able to easily manage to get back into the system,
Into the Nigerian system.
especially Nollywood? Because at the time you came,
Right.
Nollywood is even more structured now.
Yes.
There was no structure.
Yes.
How were you able to cope? Because a lot of people cannot, even people who live there, who work in the private sector, when they come into Nollywood, they cannot cope with the unorganized or structure. It's just now that we are getting there a little bit. We are not
Yes,
there yet, but we are
yes.
getting there a little bit. How were you able to cope?
For me, I'm a very strong-minded person. And where I'm heading is where I focus on. There's no distractions. Even if there are bumps on the road, I will skip right over it and just keep moving. I don't let anything distract me. Maybe because of where I'm coming from and maybe whatever I might have experienced in the past, it has kind of groomed me to know how to deal with situations that are presented before me. But I don't pay attention to disruptions, destructions, anything negative. Where I'm headed is where I'm focused on.
So that's how you've been able to cope with the Yoruba industry, that I know that a lot of the females, they usually have problems of auntie and those stuff.
I have never had any problem of auntie. Never. So I don't know. Maybe it's just how I was raised, right? I was raised by my grandma. I've said this quite a few times. That's who I'm named after, my grandma. She's Adunni as well. Maybe there's this different way of seeing life when an elderly person grooms you or raises you. Maybe, I don't know. I might be right, I might be wrong. And I also have a well-educated, a well-grounded father in my life that has taught me the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm a very disciplined person. And also my work ethics, quite disciplined. So I give respect to whoever, wants it. I'm not the one to... It's not by face. I can use Ed for anybody, right? I don't care. I just want to come work and move on to the next job. Using auntie, uncle, it's nothing,
Does living abroad in your teenage years,
Right.
and going into university abroad,
Right.
did it affect the way your political views? Because I saw that during the political time, you wanted to express yourself no matter what anybody tried to do. Unlike a lot of people who either shrink out or follow the trend. I saw that
I don't follow trends.
you stood
Right.
for what you wanted to stand for.
And that's
no
what my
matter
father taught me.
What anything.
That's what my father taught me, to stand for what is right and what you feel is right. I really don't want to nibble and dabble into anything that has to do with politics. I gave out my voice when I felt the people needed it. Those who took it. Those who didn't, you know. You may never see that happen again, and you cannot blame me if that does not happen. Me speaking up, I know my manager is like cringing right now because we were not to speak about this, but I have, with what I went through, with what I faced, I wish I could say more, but I really cannot say more.
Were you scared, really? I saw one of.
I wasn't scared.
When you came out to talk,
I spoke. There was no fear. I spoke. There was no fear.
Okay, away from politics.
Right.
Before your manager slaps me.
He won't do that.
So, I know quite a number of people when they see you speak, especially in Yoruba films.
Right.
Yeah, the first thing when they hear you speak Yoruba, there's this, oh, can she actually speak? Or we are going to hear her speak like a Nigerian born in the UK and forcing herself to speak. Was it what you learned before you went to the US, or you had a training on your own to speak Yoruba properly?
You can't have this kind of training in a short period and sound the way that I do. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I was taught how to speak Yoruba. I told you earlier that my grandmother raised me, and she's the original Adunni. I'm named after her. Proper conk Yoruba woman. And she taught me how to speak Yoruba to the point where I could not speak in English. If you say come, I would say something off in Yoruba. You know, now we speak all this funkinized Yoruba. Then, you know, konki jile Yoruba, jiggy, like even till today, if I want to lay down, I'll tell you, Mufe dubule. And then I hear people making fun of me. What is dubule? Can't you just say I want to lay down, or can't you just? I said, okay, but dubule is lay down. What else do you want to say?
Yoruba like you?
Not as good as I do, but yes, they do.
Okay, now as we are rounding up,
right?
I want to ask you, when did you now know, when you came back?
Right.
When were you now sure that, oh, I have gotten it right and I made the right decision? At what point? You know, at some point when you started, I'm sure that when you first came back, you'll still be thinking that, okay, if it doesn't work, my job is waiting for me. They are not calling me, or they are calling me, they are not paying me right. You understand? At what point did you feel that, oh, now, this is it, we die here?
It's always been we die here from the get-go. I don't give up easily. I said that already. I don't give up easily. For me to pack everything that I own to come here and work, I'm not going to give up easily. Some would say, why didn't you stay back? You're an American. Why didn't you go to Hollywood? Again, I always tell people, I'm not the creator. My destiny is not designed by me. It's designed by my creator, who is God. So if this is the path that I've been walking in, it shouldn't take this long, with the amount of years that I've been on this earth, to figure it out that, okay, maybe you should go to Hollywood. You know, this is the path God has chosen for me, and I'm going to keep riding till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, so I just want to ask, your first executively produced movie, Sole,
Yes.
was one of the top grossing rated movies
Thank
in
you.
2021.
Yes.
What was the experience like, and how did you feel knowing that it became one of the top 10, you know, top grossing movies of all time in 2021?
Just like anyone would feel
What was the experience like shooting?
Okay,
that film?
shooting, it was seamless. I really cannot stress how determined and focused I am. I'm not the one to speak too much. I let my doings do the talking.
Show walkings.
Huh?
You showed walkings.
There you go. So, you know, one of the things that made me create Loel and Clara was the fact that I wasn't getting the roles that I wanted. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create my own production company. I'm going to write a script, and I'm going to hire anyone that is talented, regardless of your background, your tribe, your color, whatever the case may be, right? I'm going to give you a shot.
Okay.
As long as you can deliver. And there are a lot of folks in my film who pretty much was their first time being on screen. Some may have even worked behind behind the camera, but I give a whole lot of people that shot to express themselves, and I was just happy to see everyone's delivery. I really did not know what to expect as far as how far it would go. I still would say I wish they did way more than that because it deserved it. You know, when an actor decides to produce, there's this uncertainty from the viewers, like, it might not be good. Maybe that's what I kind of got. But I pushed it with every bit of myself to make sure it got to what it did. And when it came on Netflix, a lot of people, a lot of the audience were actually even apologizing for not seeing it in cinemas and waiting till it got to Netflix to watch.
Okay. Finally, for me,
right?
I just saw your hand now, and I saw a tattoo on it. Is there significance?
I'm a lover of tattoo. I have a bunch of tattoos. I just love tattoos. This is a Gemini sign. I am a Gemini. This is half of a heart. Just shows how much I love people. I have flowers, things like that. I'm just a lover of tattoos.
My last question to you: if you were a Nigerian meal, which would you be?
If
you were a Nigerian meal,
food.
Which would you be? Yeah.
How else do you say it?
My own last question: why should anybody watch Tokunbo tomorrow?
Yeah, you need to come out and watch Tokunbo. This project was made with so much love, blood, sweat, tears. We gave it our all in producing this. Well, I didn't produce, in making this film. It's an action film. There's suspense, there's drama. And if you know anything about Ramsey Noah, you know he's going to deliver. You know Chidimokeme is top notch. You know Gideon Okeke is not backing down from delivering his roles. And you know Adunni Ade will give you the best. So come out, tune in tomorrow. Yeah, you're not coming out. Netflix and chill. Stay in your house.
Popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn, food, amala, anything, rice. Pull your drinks and watch Tokunbo.
All right. Thank you so much, Adunni. It's been a wonderful time. We wish we had more time to talk to you. It's been a wonderful time talking to you, knowing what goes through your mind, your vision, and we wish you the best. And
Thank you.
Very soon there will be a time for you to also come back and talk to us on a bigger project of your own.
Amen.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.